What is up, guys? Relobeats here, and welcome to another video. Now, I know I said the next video I'll do would be a review again. So originally, I was going to do a review today, but I decided against it. I'm sorry, but I decided to come out with this video first, because honestly I feel like it's important, and I feel like you guys will want to hear it. So, without further ado, this is how I would direct The Last Jedi. Roll that intro, Cosmo. So to start this off, we're gonna have to go over what happened in The Force Awakens. So we all know, at the ending of Force Awakens, Luke put his hood down and turned to Rey, looking at her with longing eyes. Now, she handed him the lightsaber, and that's what we were left with. But the death of Han Solo, which, you know, we all knew was gonna happen eventually, and just some of the stuff that JJ set up, it had me thinking. And honestly, as you guys probably know if you guys watch my review, I don't like The Last Jedi. I felt like it betrayed everything that we knew, and I feel like nothing was good in that movie. So, this is how I would have directed it. If you guys are interested, go ahead and leave a like. Starts off on the island where we left off. Rey looking at Luke with confusion. Luke looking at her. Finn in a machine, waiting to get operated on. Leia waiting patiently for any news of anything that happens. The movie begins with a lightsaber igniting. The lightsaber is a blue lightsaber. A hood covering the man's face. A huge duel is taking place, with one side fighting each other. Audience has no idea who this is, has no idea what it's going on, until we see a building, a temple, and one man with a green lightsaber stands his ground. The man in the hood takes it off. It's Kylo. He says,
"Give up, old man. You're done. Snoke wants you dead, and he wants me to do it. You're weak."
Luke looks at his hand. No longer a glove.
I may be an old man, but you're just a foolish boy. Come. Don't let Snoke do this. Don't let him take you. Don't let him turn what's left of you.
Kylo looks at the lightsaber and throws it at Luke. Luke then proceeds to run, to regain himself. The Knights of Ren follow him, start killing off all the rest of the Jedi. Kylo sees a little girl. A little girl only somewhat younger than him. Kylo would be 16. This little girl would probably be about 11 or 12. He takes her into his ship. As the Knights of Ren fail to catch Luke, Kylo puts it in the ship. A woman comes out, screaming, holding a purple lightsaber. She screams. Kylo then proceeds to hold her with the Force. Brings her closer. Says,
"Snoke will show me the way."
And stabs the woman. Her tears look at the girl and yells, "Rey! Rey!" Kylo rips out the lightsaber, throws her down. He gets on the ship, and he flies away. As Luke looks to the sky, he knows his wife had just died. We then have a wipe. Luke sitting by a campfire with Rey. Luke, not talking to her, is looking at the lightsaber. He looks to Rey, back at the lightsaber. Rey's like,
Are you gonna say anything?
he looks to her, weary.
Do you know what this lightsaber is?
Rey looks to him with confusion.
No. It called to me. Maz gave it to me.
This lightsaber was once mine. My father's before mine.
Rey looks to him.
So, what does that have to do with me?
Luke says,
I'm not quite sure.
and walks away in silence. Then Rey, throughout this little part, would beg for him to talk until, like, the scenes would go on with her trying to get him to talk. Back on the ship, Poe is trying to defend the Resistance base with his TIE fighter, but they're falling short on resources. They try to call these people, but no one's answering. That whole storyline would go on for a while until Lando comes in and actually supplies them with guns to fight off the First Order. This will be a subplot line that won't actually, take up the whole runtime, but it'll help us break apart. But Rey would be trying to practice the Force on her own, and Luke will be kind of making fun of her, saying, that's not how you do that, right? And saying snarky comments and stuff, until one day she follows him to a grave. In it says Mara Jade. She could feel the sadness in Luke. She could feel the dark and the light. Who was that? She would ask. Someone I loved. Someone who loved me. What happened? And he would tell her the story, but he wouldn't know that Rey is his daughter. He'll say Kylo killed, Ben killed his wife and killed his daughter. And then there'll be a bunch of scenes of Snoke getting to Kylo, and Kylo kind of going back over that day with memories and pretty much putting together what he did with the Knights of Ren and leading up to him eventually killing them. Snoke said, "Here is your final test. Kill the Knights of Ren. Become the Sith I know you can be. Become Kylo Ren." He walks into the room similar to Anakin Skywalker. Hood over him. He looks up with glowing eyes. The Knights of Ren patiently waiting to see what he's going to say. He pulls out a red lightsaber that Snoke had made for him, a crossblade. He ignites it, only showing one blade, and then the two sides come out. The Knights of Ren are scared, ready for anything. Kylo then begins to show his Force powers, throwing them against the walls, throwing them against the ceiling, bringing one close to him, stabbing him, breaking one's neck with the Force. And then the door will close. And then later he'll go to Snoke, saying, "It is done." Snoke will then proceed to congratulate him. This is just how I see it. And I'm guessing you guys probably like what I've been saying. The Last Jedi would all end with a big battle between Rey and Kylo, with a little bit of fights every now and again, leading up to a huge battle with Rey and Kylo, and Luke and Snoke. Luke being very old and very disheveled, he can't fight as well as he could, but he can. Snoke will get the better hand of him, but Rey will grow stronger seeing this man that she strangely feels a connection to on the ground. She'll overpower Kylo, cutting off one of his arms. Because Star Wars arms are kind of a fetish. Throwing her lightsaber at Snoke. Him catching it with the Force and breaking it. Then he proceeds to get her in the air and starts torturing her. Luke, seeing this struggle, he starts to feel something. Something like, what would he do if his daughter was in this situation? He gets his lightsaber. He looks powerful. And he reminded himself that maybe just one side isn't good enough. Maybe I need to balance both sides. He gets up and starts using his force against Snoke. It isn't working. So then, he tries something else. He starts using Force Lightning. In moderation, but he starts using Force Lightning. And of course it's red, because in the comics and like all that, if you use Force Lightning, it would be red. Of course it's red, and Snoke says, "I know this power. It's very rare." Luke, being very new to the dark side, he's very susceptible to it. Snoke then tries to punish him, and it's working for a while. And he's like, "Now let me." He's like, now sit there and watch your daughter die." And Luke, now finding out that his daughter, he looks up with intimidation, and he says, "I will not let my family die." He then bursts with Force energy, picking up his lightsaber and finally fighting Snoke, until inevitably, he Force pushes him out of the ship. And of course, Snoke's not going to be dead. Kylo's still laying on the ground. He has his arm. Some troopers come in and start blasting at Luke and Rey. They take to cover while they take Kylo away. The Resistance has been fighting these ships the entire time outside. Poe finally says, "Are you guys alright?" Luke and Rey will look at each other saying, "We think so." They get them on the ship where Leia is sitting, weak from sickness. Luke then goes to her. His first time seeing her. He looks to her and says, "You're looking rough there, Leia." She smiles at him. Luke then proceeds to give her the dice that Han Solo had in the ship. She looks to him with a smile as her eyes glaze over. Luke then shakes her, trying to wake her. She's dead. She died. Heartbroken. They didn't have a good funeral for her, as Luke and Rey look at each other weirdly now, asking questions in their own mind, but don't want to say it out loud during the funeral. It will then end with Luke on a banister, Rey approaching him. "So, this is where you've been." Luke then turns to her, says, "Let me show you something." He'll walk down the hallway, showing a tunic or clothing that her mother wore. He says, "I want you to wear this now. With a necklace with a kyber crystal. It's a purple one." He says, "I think you'll need this. It was your mother's." Luke then gives it to her and starts walking away. Rey starts crying. And so does Luke as he walks out the door. It'll end with Rey building a lightsaber, and the final scene will be her igniting the purple blade as the credits roll. But that's just how I would have directed it. You know, lots of room for improvement, but lots of room to build off of it in the 9th movie. If you guys, you know, like my idea, let me know by leaving a like, and honestly, this is actually how I would have done it. I feel like this would have been a lot better than what we got, and I'm hoping you guys agree. So, you know, hopefully Cosmo would have added, you know, pictures and all that to kind of get the idea. But, thank you guys. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you guys don't like the idea, if you guys think I could change it up a little bit. But yeah, this is just kind of like a little fun thing I decided to do. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment, rate, subscribe if you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. That being said, roll beats.